Welcome to the Church of la Rebelión.
Hey guys, it's Maddie, and today we are here with
the female fighting phenom herself, Jazz.
Okay, and tell them a little. And tell them a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself, huh? Do I have time, Maddie? I'm not sure if I have time.
We have time crunch, but you can try.
Okay, been wrestling for over 25 years. Just now retired last year. Started out in ECW, 1997, 98, WWE. I've worked for probably every major company, if not at least one time or a couple of times. So
yeah, you forgot to list your greatest accomplishment, which was being a part of my training, but that's fine.
Well, yes. And also I had the honor of training this individual right here, this special young lady, Miss Maddie.
Special then?
Yeah,
it seems like
in many ways.
I felt like that's what you meant.
Yes.
So the fans all want to know. So your theme song was "The Bitch Is Back." Is that correct?
No, it wasn't my theme song.
But you said that.
But I said that.
She said that a lot.
Yes.
So like, when are you coming back? The fans want to know. No further questions.
What is up, you beautiful people? This is Gary Horton. This is the NWA. It's the show celebrating the past, present, future, history, legacy, and tradition of the greatest pro wrestling entity of all time. And of course, I'm talking about the National Wrestling Alliance. And I am joined by the great voice of the NWA, Joe Galley. Hey, Joe.
Gary, do you floss?
I do floss, actually.
I like using these little toothpick gimmicks. That's my preferred weapon of choice when it comes to flossing.
The last time I went to the dentist, just about 3 or 4 months ago, she said, you need to start remembering to floss. Your gums look a little weird. They're okay, but they're getting weird. And you don't want your teeth to fall out. And for some reason, that scared the hell out of me. And every day since then, I have floss, I Listerine, I brush, I do all the things every day.
But then you also dip and smoke cigars. So there you go. That's a trade-off.
I don't do any of those things, just so you know. What's up, chat? Yeah, I know. I forgot our guys. We got no Kyle. We got no deals. Nobody knows where Kyle is. So he's
been very busy today. Hats off to Kyle. Kyle's been working very hard, getting a lot of stuff together. You know, the Australia show that's coming out tomorrow. There was some stuff that to get sent in, and then there's some other stuff for Chicago. He had to record a bunch of stuff today and do a bunch of emails and phone calls and stuff. He was swamped today.
Well, you know what? I'm glad for.
So
Joe.
reach out to Kyle is what I'm saying. Everyone saying, keep it up, Kyle. We all believe in you, Kyle, on social media. Tag him.
I'm glad that you're here, Joe. And I'm glad that our chat is here. Arissa, Noni, Royded, Richard, Amy, Nathan, Rush Freeman's.
Rush Freeman's always there.
Yeah, Rush Freeman's always there. Mike
He's got nothing else going on. We could have this podcast at 3:00 in the morning. He would still be here. He's got nothing else going on.
Yeah, we got all these people in the chat. So thanks for being here. We're live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. I revamped the Twitch. I revamped the Kick. I got it working properly. And for some reason, Rumble's not working. It looks like it's not working, and I don't know why. And it's driving me crazy.
There's so many of these streaming things. I don't know how you keep up with them, man. I don't know.
I just try to pay attention.
I
and
barely can handle TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, it is obnoxious how much stuff there is. But Joe, we're also not alone because, besides the chat being here, we have special guests and they're already waiting for us. Yeah, they're already ready for us. But before we bring in the special guest tonight, I'm just going to give you a little treat. One of the little side projects from one of the members of La Rebelion. This is Monster Wolf. And if you haven't checked them out, they're at youtube.com. I think it's, hold on, I'm going to tell you. It is youtube.com at Monster Wolf 2019. And you can follow them there, subscribe. And this is Mecha Wolf's band. So let's check that out. And then we'll bring on the World Tag Team Champions, La Rebelion. All right, there we go. That is Monster Wolf. And here are the NWA World Tag Team Champions, La Rebelion. Boys, it is good to see you.
Good to see you guys too, man. How's it going?
Oh, it is going good. Thanks for doing this tonight, guys. We appreciate it. The chat is very happy to see you.
No problem. Sorry we didn't wear makeup. We run on vampire hours over here in Tijuana, so.
Yeah, well, I said, no makeup needed. We love the makeup. You guys do an awesome job with that. And I played that clip earlier from the Crockett Cup stuff. And so where you had like badass makeup, the robes, everything. So Do you get tired of the ghost comments?
Not at all. Because originally when I came to him with that idea, it was because it was inspired by the band Ghost, and it's one of my favorite bands that I recently like really got into. It took me a while to really get into them, and then once I did, I was like in love with the band. So it was like a small tribute that we wanted to do. And they actually featured both of us on their webpage, which was really cool. So yeah, I don't really mind it. You know.
Where was that set? Where was that performance from that we just played that clip from?
Oh, that was from about a year and some change ago from Austin, Texas. We play that song way faster now. So watching that clip back was like, oh man, like we stuck there.
Oh man, I thought it sounded
good.
You did the whiskey like a minute ago, right? You were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. I used to go there all the time when I used to live in LA. Fun venue.
Yeah, it's a great venue, man. Like it was an honor for us to play there because, you know, everybody that's been somebody in the music business played there. So like to me, it was a huge honor. And not only that, we got to open for Doyle of the Misfits, who's like my uncle and like one of my biggest inspirations. So it was really cool. Honestly, like it was really cool, and it really like filled me with joy and happiness. You know, not many things do that.
Oh.
Well,
I think holding on to that gold is one of those things that certainly does. I got to get into this because I know the Crockett Cup didn't go the way that you guys had hoped, but let's talk about those championships that are sitting on that table there. I always have to do this research before we have another big show. And of course, us coming to Chicago in less than 2 weeks, you got to go through and look at all this stuff. You guys with your combined reign, it's 586 days. You're the third longest reigning NWA tag team champions of all time. That's more than America's Most Wanted. That's more than Rock and Roll Express. That's more than the Naturals. That's more than the list goes on and on of all these different ones. You're in that upper atmosphere of being the best tag teams that have ever wrestled. So, I mean, it's got to be kind of, what's it like to have that? I mean, you've worked so hard. You defended that championship all over the United States, Mexico, Australia, all over the world. I mean, it's got to feel incredible that this incredible tag team that's formed has really made its mark in history.
It's an honor. You just said it. We've been defending these belts all over Mexico, the States, Canada, the UK, Australia now. And it's just, for me, just an honor that I can be part of NWA. And not only as a wrestler, but as representing the company all over the world. For me, it's an honor.
Yeah, just like he said, it's not only a big honor that we are representing the company with these titles that many great tag teams held before in the past. We are doing that as a Mexican, as a Puerto Rican, two Latinos that were born and raised in their countries and won these titles. You know, there's been people from Mexican descent before that have won the belts, people from Puerto Rican descent that have won the titles before in the past, but not Puerto Rican born, Mexican born and raised wrestlers. We're literally two people are designed to not get along with each other. You know, different cultures, different countries. But we have been doing this for 7 years, going on almost 8, you know, and we conquered the world. You know, I think the only country that we really are like have in our sights is Japan, to go there with these titles. Like that's one of my personal goals. But like he said, it's an honor, it's a privilege, and to us, not only getting kind of like that love and appreciation from the fans, but from the guys in the locker room. You know, like people like, you know, like Tyrus, people like Chris Adonis, people like Trevor Murdoch, everybody, all the boys just have that respect for us. And it wasn't easy to get because you have to earn it. So to us, holding these titles and getting that respect from the boys and getting that respect from the fans means so much because we work really, 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 really hard. He also worked really, really hard to not be in his father's shadow, you know, like not be like the next version of Damien 666. He's the first Bestia 666. I'm the first Mecha Wolf. So I believe that that just shows how hard we've been working for all these years to make this happen. So it means a lot to us.
One of the countries, you know, you were talking about all these different countries you've gone to and everything. I mean, coming up this week on NWA Power, or in place of NWA Power, it's going to be Australia. You guys just went on the tour there with the NWA to Australia. I believe your match here, let's see, we'll bring up the graphics. The Natural Classics is going to be your matchup here on Tuesday at 6:05. What was Australia like for you guys? Had you been there before, or was that a whole unique experience?
It was the first time for me. It was awesome. I loved it. Can't wait to go back. But
I've been there before a couple times prior to that for wrestling shows, and it's one of my really like best favorite places to go to because it reminds me a lot of back home in Puerto Rico. It's really hot. The food is great. The women are great. The beer, not so much. But other than that, man, like honestly, we had a blast. We had a really good time, and I think locker room wise, it was like a big bonding experience because like he's around me all the time, so he's probably sick and tired of seeing me. But like seeing, being around guys like Silas Mason, being guys, around like Joe and Kyle and Kenzie and everybody that was in the tour, I feel like it brought us more together. We got to know more about each other, and I think that helped almost like a bonding exercise for the locker room. So I think it was really awesome, and the matches were phenomenal. The crowds were great. The talented, Natural Classics. They're, we known them from like coming here to Mexico. They've been here to Mexico and they worked in Mexico. When I lived in Florida, they used to stay in my house in Florida. So seeing them in Australia and seeing how much they've grown, and not only them, but many other of the wrestlers that were on the tour with us from Australia, like Adam Brooks and Slex and all those guys. It was really cool to be able to, the beer was trash, Alex. It was really cool to just be able to just hang out with all these guys and bond and see them perform and seeing what we could do as a tag team. And we got to try a lot of new stuff over there that we brought back to America. So it helped to make us be closer to each other. And Australia's a great country. We had a blast.
That's really cool. I didn't realize you had a past with those guys. That's
I didn't realize that either, and I don't remember that coming up when we were there.
Oh yeah, I remember them talking about it, that they'd made the rounds and they knew each other quite well. And I think that's going to be something that's really interesting when you watch the match that's going to be airing this Tuesday, is the level of chemistry that's there and the professionalism of all these Australian wrestlers. I mean, they were all incredible athletes. They're all knew exactly what they were doing. A little bit of a different style than what a lot of our guys are used to, but still, like, I was so impressed with the athletes that we saw there, including the Natural Classics.
There's so much I want to talk to you guys about. One thing we got to cover too is Crockett Cup. Even though it didn't go your way, you guys look more badass than ever because you also have now apparently added Vampiro to your little crew there. Like, how did this happen? What is the story with Vampiro? Last time we saw you guys, you were wrestling them at the AAA show in Mexico.
Well, it's funny because I got a message from Vamp and through Instagram months ago, and he's like, "Hey, how do I get a hold of Billy?" And I was like, "I'm gonna make this happen right now." So I got them in cahoots with each other, and then next thing you know, Billy's like, "I have a surprise for you," and I'm like, "I kind of know what it is, So like seeing him at Crockett Cup, and I feel like it almost gave him like a second life. In a way, he kind of looks like younger. The makeup looked phenomenal. He fits perfect with us. But it was like one of those things that it's like, hey, man, we're kind of like, we know that you can snap in a second. So it's like, we have him with us and we are very close, but it could be one of those things that's like Vampiro, he's like a loose cannon. So anything can happen when it comes to that guy. But to us, with that being said, to us, it's an honor, he's a god here in Mexico. Anybody that knows anything about anything knows Vampiro, knows what he's done. He was one of my main inspirations to get into the business because he was the guy that brought my favorite band to pro wrestling. He brought the Misfits to WCW. So me seeing that, and then us being able to work with each other together now, it's really cool. It's really, really cool to me as a fan growing up. It's really cool to me. He calls me son and stuff, and like his dad's been around Vamp like all his life. So it's really cool that we get to do that and kind of give him his last little few shots before he's done. So it means a lot to me.
Oh yeah, because also we're gonna wrestle against him in Triple Mania on July 15th. So a week after the show in Highland Park. So that'll be good. We'll see what
there
happens.
might be some surprises there.
Yep.
That's exciting. That's it's funny you were talking about him that way, because I was a fan of him, and I told him this, like, I growing up as a fan, I was in WCW. I was into WCW and like that kind of thing. I saw him a lot there, and somebody there was like, "Oh, he's huge in Mexico. You should see some Mexico stuff." And like, so we were doing like trading of stuff, and I was seeing like Mexican matches, and that was my first exposure to Lucha Libre, was because Vampiro was wrestling in the US or something. And so anyway, to meet him, I was really excited, but he was like so excited to be there. He was humble about
really
it.
Happy. Yeah, he was.
He was like, "I don't even know what I'm going to do. I'm so happy to be with Bastia and Mecha Wolf. Like I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm so pumped." It was just weird seeing him. Like, I'm like, man, you've probably seen everything like you guys have. And to see somebody just like, he seemed giddy about it. Like it was
yeah, he's like genuinely happy, which is really cool.
So then going back a little bit further, one thing that's on my mind, that's been on my mind, you guys, and I don't think I'm blowing smoke here, but you guys are like my favorite tag team in the world. So I'm always honored to get to talk to you guys and see you guys. And I love tag team wrestling. And one of my favorite tag teams going on right now that's been happening ended up winning the Crockett Cup, and that is Trevor Murdoch and Mike Knox. Like, I think those two guys are big badasses and just seem super dominant. Now, I will say this. They were on the show a few weeks back, and we asked them about you, and just to let you know, they were very complimentary of you guys, knowing that, you could expect two veteran big guys like that to be cocky or arrogant, but they were like, no, La Rebelión have been unstoppable. They're dominant. And I know it wouldn't be easy if we had to get in the ring, but make no mistake, that's our goal, is to get in the ring with those two guys. So I was just curious what your thoughts are on Knox and Murdoch coming for the World Tag Team title.
We respect them a lot, to be honest. And it's something that we talked before, that we talked that we want to wrestle against Trevor. And now, even before they were tagging, right? Mm-hmm. So
we were always like messing around in the locker room. Soon, like
very soon it's gonna happen. And now I think
the opportunity is pretty close. And like you said, we respect them a lot. Just a little inside baseball. I grew up in Puerto Rico when Mike Knox was in IWA Puerto Rico for Savio Vega. So like I always like mess with him and ask him, "Hey, are you gonna bring back the moonsault and stuff like that?" Because Mike Knox back in the day, he was like a crazy high flyer even with size, So like I'm really excited for us to get to do that match, because you got Trevor, who comes with all this former WWE tag team champion experience with Lance Cade, and now him and Knox, they gel so great together that to us it's like it's just seeing stuff like that. It's like, yes, finally we got a challenge. We have a real team that we could fight and wrestle and freaking go crazy with. So, with that being said, we are the tag team champions for a reason. We are the third longest reigning tag team champions of the NWA for a reason. And it's not because we're the biggest guys. It's not because we're the smallest guy. It's because we're the baddest guys in that locker room. And we will prove it whenever they're in front of us. If we have to bleed, we will bleed. If we have to freaking give our last ounce of energy to retain these belts, we will do it. Because at the end of the day, as much as we respect Trevor and Knox, we are the tag team champions of this company. And we will continue to be the tag team champions for a long time. Because when it's all said and done, we could lose all the Crockett Cups that they want, but we will not lose these titles, because when that red light is on and we're in that ring, there is not one team that's better than La Rebelión.
What is happening? What is that?
Oh my God! No, what the hell happened to you?
You sound like a demon chipmunk.
It's like Bumblebee from the Transformers. My God, what is happening here?
I don't know what's.
It's so terrible. What the hell, Kyle?
Man, we got a really intense quote for Mecha Wolf here, and you just. I have no idea.
Puerto Rican.
I think he tried to say happy birthday there. I think that's
thank you so much, Kyle. I miss you, bro.
Yeah. Kyle, maybe kill the earbuds. I don't think you need them. Just you know,
so
kill those, and then we'll be able to hear you.
How about now?
There it is. Kind of. The Gary, kick him out. Oh my god.
I muted. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What is happening?
Oh man.
I'm sorry.
Well, so happy birthday, Puerto Rican John.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, I was thinking, you know, a second ago, you said you really want to go to Japan and defend the titles in Japan. Is there a particular Japanese tag team with, you know, DDT or New Japan or anybody out there that's like kind of sticks out in your mind that you'd like to wrestle?
Well, actually, one of our close friends, Daga, who was at the World as a Vampire Mexico City, he just won the NOAH Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship, and with his partner, I think that would be a great match against them. I think if we did like Chris Bay and I think Ace Austin, man, that would be a crazy match if we got to like go to New Japan against them. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. We'll take anything really. Like we just want to go to Japan and bring these titles there, because I feel like once we do that, I could die happy, you know, because we've taken them to Puerto Rico, Canada, all over Mexico, all over the States, the UK. We defended them in the UK for the first time, and I don't know if the belts ever were defended in the UK before, but we defended them in the UK, and then we defended them in Australia about 9 times. So I think that's really cool if we got to go to Japan with the belts.
I would love to see that, because you guys, you just talked about it. In Australia, defended it 9 times. You guys, it's one thing to be, well, we've had people talk about this. Kerry Morton's made comments about it. Camille has made comments about this. It's one thing to have the belt, but then to be a champ that goes out there and regularly defends the titles. Like, I'm not just sitting on it, you know, just waiting around for a few months until another challenge comes up. You guys are like that too. Like you guys are workhorse champions. So you guys go out there and defend it anytime, anywhere. I love that about you, and it's cool that you want to defend it.
Well, also, I'm a big historian when it comes to pro wrestling. I have like older pro wrestling magazines of different tag team year edition. So when I read those magazines and I see the NWA Tag Team Championship, and I see back in the day how people were traveling champions back in the territory days, we wanted to kind of bring that back, because we do have one of the busiest schedules of pro wrestlers in the NWA. If you look at that whole locker room, we wrestle about 3-4 times a week, every week. You know, sometimes we show up late to tapings because we're coming from Mexico, or we're coming from somewhere else. You know, we take a lot of pride in the fact that we are some of the busiest people in the company, but when we get in that ring, we try to deliver the best that we can and give the people what they want and what they need, which is a good freaking show. And I think we do the best at that. We're pretty good.
I was gonna say that we were a little late for Crockett Cup last year, because we wrestled in the UK.
Yep.
That's almost.
Well, even this year, Basia showed up like day of or something, because your kids were performing or something. So you guys are like all over the place, right?
All over.
Yeah, your kids are like successful martial artists now too, right?
Yeah, they're doing so good right now. And the only reason they doing karate right now is because they asked me to train lucha, and I'm like, oh no, that's not gonna happen until you guys go to high school or something. But if you want to become wrestlers, you have to do karate first and do good. And they're doing so good right now. They're winning all these tournaments, so
they're like undefeated.
Yeah, so
they don't know defeat.
Sweep the leg.
Yeah.
Somebody bring a body bag.
Axel Gonzalez in the chat did bring this up. He says, well, I've been here to join you for the Crockett Cup. We kind of covered that part, Axel, but I do like this. So we see Damien say back.
You never know.
You never know. Those freaks and ghouls always stick together. So You never know. It could be 75. Stay tuned.
Oh, I like that. And then somebody in the chat, I think it was Kobe, and I can't find it right now, but I do want to bring this up. He brought up that we talked about Knox and Murdoch. What about Blunt Force Trauma? Like he wants to know about that because those guys, they're the ones that, with respect, took you out in the Crockett Cup.
Well, man, we've been going at it with Blunt Force Trauma since the pay-per-view in Tampa. And again, inside baseball, like I have a lot of respect for all those guys, like Aaron and both, Carnage and
Damage.
And Damage, like we have a ton of respect for them outside of the ring, but they did take us out of the Crockett Cup. They had our number, and we can't make up excuses. We can't come here and say, oh, they beat us because of this, they beat us because of that. They were the better man that night. And we failed to stick to our game plan, and it cost us at the end of the day. But we're still the tag team champions, and to me, that's all that matters. We could lose any match, as long as we don't lose a World Tag Team Championship match. We're good.
One other thing, and I'll let Kyle and Joe talk if they've got anything else they want to cover. Danny Deals wasn't able to be here, but he did send in a video. I won't play it quite yet, but in the video, he does say he has a question for you guys. Why won't you let the ill-begotten challenge you for the titles? He says you're afraid of them.
I didn't think they were together anymore.
Ooh. No, honestly, like here's my thing, dude. If you want a shot, you gotta earn it. When we came to the NWA, we did all kinds of things so we could earn that title shot. We pissed off the right people. We beat up the right people. Maybe you just gotta take the bull by the horns and do what you gotta do if you want a shot at the belts. But there's also Trevor and Knox that you gotta get through if you want to come to us. So maybe take it up with them first, Danny Deals.
Yeah. Joe, do you have anything else for the champs here? I promise we wouldn't take all their time.
I'm just saying that I'm going to look forward to seeing them in Chicago. It's always fun to go up to Chicago. I know you guys got a lot of fans out there, and it brings in a big crowd, and they're always rowdy folks out there. So I'm just looking forward to heading over there and maybe grabbing some deep dish with you boys.
Yeah, I didn't get any last time, too.
I know. I mean, either. I was so bummed.
I was hella pissed.
Danny Deals is in the chat, though, backing out on what he said. I thought he said that. We'll check the tape later, but he said that he did not say you were afraid of them. So I don't know. Kyle, do you want to try to talk to the guys anymore, or see how that goes?
Do I sound like a normal human being?
Wait, yeah. Wait, it came back. Yeah, that's good.
All right, good. I just had to log out and go on there. La Rebelion, I'm just happy you guys are still a part of the National Wrestling Alliance. Obviously, one of the most decorated tag champions we've ever seen in the entire National Wrestling Alliance. You mentioned you do defend the titles everywhere, and tomorrow night, NWA Power Special Edition. It's going to be Worlds of Vampire Australia. You mentioned this earlier there. One of the things that I mentioned going into that was that you guys really have defended the tag team titles and excite a crowd no matter where you are. And if you were in Australia, anybody that was there will vouch for it. You might have any idea who somebody is when they get into the ring when you're at a rock concert. But when you leave, they sure as fuck knew La Rebellion was the tag team amongst tag teams.
Are you going to demonetize for that?
Sorry.
Maybe we're far enough into it that the F-bombs don't matter anymore.
No, honestly, like to us, we wanted to just be able to go out there and have any type of match that was needed. We had all kinds of opponents, big guys, smaller guys, fast guys, strong guys. And we were able to have good matches with all of them because we wanted to not only make management happy, but make the crowd happy, because the people that were there at the end of the day, they were not there to watch pro wrestling. But after they left, dude, we got so many follow requests, like so many people that comment to positivity and send us positivity, and they were all happy because they got to see not only from us, but all the other wrestlers that were part of the cards as well. So it was a really cool thing for us to do, because we wanted to be able to leave kind of like that staple and kind of like set the bar. So like any team coming after us, like, all right, buddy, you got to come up here. You know what I mean? So I think we did a good job at that. And it was also a team effort, a team effort from us and then the people working with us. So everybody that's watching this live, make sure you catch that match tomorrow because it was one of my favorite matches in the tour.
Also,
awesome.
Rebellion, I think you guys already know this, is a lot of time when you're a champion, no matter single or tag team division, sometimes you get put in kind of a stereotyped mode of it, and you guys can go with cruiserweights, you can go with heavyweights, you can go hard hitting, you do high flying. You two can actually do just about every damn thing, including mat wrestle, that you need to do when you get into that ring. And as best you just told us, you can do the karate shit too, because he's got it in his bloodline. So, gentlemen, I just want to thank you for being a part of this. Keep on kicking ass. I'll try not to swear anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies. But legit, it's always nice to have you around, and us just having Australia tomorrow brings back some fond memories, because damn, that was one hell of a time.
It was, man, and I can't wait for the summer tour. I can't wait to see you guys. Honestly, like, I see you guys now, and like no crap, and not, you know, kissing butts or anything over here, but like, you know, like, we weren't like super close, you know, like with you guys personally, but I feel like that tour brought us all like together even more. And like now, like, I see you guys, it's like, oh man, like, I can't wait to go give Kyle and Joe a hug, you know, because it was really cool to just be able to have those crazy matches. A body hug, okay? Don't be perverts. You know, it was cool to have those matches and you know, see the country and you know, see the concert, see Billy perform in front of 30,000 people. All that was cool, but to me, the coolest thing was that it brought the locker room together. It brought me and him together even more, and I can't wait to do it all over again, honestly.
Yeah. La Rebellion, thanks for taking time out of your day today to hang out with us. We appreciate you guys. I love seeing those belts. People don't appreciate how heavy those belts are, I don't think.
Very heavy.
It's the biggest rib ever when we got them. A little inside baseball, Aaron Stevens and Kratos just kept laughing at us in the locker room after congratulating us. And I'm like, why are they laughing at us? They're like, you'll see. Once we got to the airport, because all of our luggage was measured by weight, we put these in there, and it was like 15 pounds overweight. So then we found out why they were laughing at us. So, you know, it's not easy to carry these bad boys around, but it's worth it.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here, and you have a good rest of your day. We appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you. Are we seeing you in Chicago?
Yes, sir. Yes. We'll be there on the 9th.
All right. We'll see you in Chicago, guys.
All right, guys. Be safe. Thank you for having us.
Adios.
All right. Thank you.
I'll be ready.
Just all right. Could they be the final two members of the Southern Six? I mean, they're very Southern. Mexico's very Southern.
You know, someone brought it up on social media. Shouldn't everyone in Australia also be in the Southern Six? It doesn't get further south than Australia.
It is the land down under.
Yeah, it doesn't get any more south unless there's like, we've got some Antarctic penguin wrestlers.
I'm still to this day that the Southern Six is now a legit thing on NWA programming. Yeah. It's just like, what the hell?
They willed it into existence.
I was about to say they definitely willed it into existence. Like, it just forced it in there that it's just it's unignorable, a word, undeniable.
Sure, there you go. Hey, Gary, quick question. Danny isn't here. Did he give you a code or anything?
He sure did. As a matter of fact, I promised I'd play his video that he sent in. So we will do that right now.
Hey, what's the gig? Danny Deals, Danny W. Deals, Triple D, Deal Machine, whatever you want to say. Hang out here at the Deals house with the crew. It's hot as hell. Listen, everybody, still watch the show. Just because the Deal Machine isn't on there, it's okay. You can still watch the show. I'll be back. I'm on the road, cutting deals, doing stuff, getting ready for Highland Park. Also, you know, I got all kinds of new deals. Check this shirt out. Huh? Look at this. Look at this hat right here. We're twins, Maddie. Look at that. I'm not going to pull everything out. Go to the website, nationalwrestlingeyes.com, hit the shop, and it's all there. Also, because Terrence Morton predictably defeated the angry Frenchman Barry Brown down there in Texas, he asked me to make the Champ Deals discount, so I did. It ended, but then I extended it. So it's good today, it's good tomorrow. Champ Deals, put it in, get some percentage off. Also, for our guests on the show, Garrison, ask some Wolfies. I said, well, you don't even have to ask them. I know why they never gave the IB Boys a tag shot. They were afraid of us because they knew that the Deal Machine is well-versed in Hammer horror. Peter Cushing taught me everything to do. I know the silver. I know all the... I know how to combat werewolves, bro. I mean, that's what happens. They had the old gypsy woman on retainer over here, and she would say, and by the moonlight you have to be the smile, and all that kind of stuff. So that's all it was. I was going to ask the question, but why ask it? But maybe ask it anyway, just so I have to answer it. Anyway. Woo! All right. Out of here.
All right. Well, there was Danny Deals. And,
and there is the empty chair.
the empty chair of Kyle Davis. NationalWrestlingAlliance.com/shop. Get 20% off right now with the code CHAMPDEALS. It's right up there on your screen. Lots of cool stuff over the shop. Danny Deals hooks you up. So make sure you check that out. I guess also in honor of Danny Deals, I haven't done one of these in a while. Let's throw this up real quick.
I'd like to direct your attention to the screen for a short video, if you don't mind. With that, I yield back.
All right.
Classic.
Thank you. Yeah. So it's been a while since we got to see Danny get smacked to the face. Kyle, I didn't hear anything out of you just now. So if I don't know.
Count to 10 for me, Kyle. He's not even trying.
10.
There we go.
Oh,
That worked.
there he is. There he is.
6. I give up.
It's weird. It's like it was just silent for a second.
On my phone. I have to go out and do something, so I thought I was going to have to leave, and that's why I came in late, because I had to get ready. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. Technology, this magic thing that speaks to the satellites in the sky and throws the image down so you can enjoy this at home. Sometimes it doesn't work right. The National Wrestling Alliance. We're bigger than the wrestling. We're bigger than the world. We're global. We're universal. I just became Austin Idol.
I know. Why did that happen? I don't understand. And why are we twinning again? We didn't talk about this. The lavender shirts.
I put on black shorts because I got to go out for a dinner thing. And I was like, I'll put on a purple shirt. This is good.
Formal shorts.
Got a ceramic watch in the mail. Look at that. That's ceramic.
It's made of like what dinner plates are made of. That's fancy.
Yep, thanks. I hope I don't hit it on anything.
Fancy dinner plate watch.
Yep.
What coffee mugs are made of. Why would you have a watch made of that?
Apple Watch like everybody else, but they don't read through tattoos. Kids don't get sleeve tattoos. It'll mess you up. Technology.
Were these dinner plans made by Bumble? Is that where that?
No, these dinner plans are actually for one of my former bosses at Hard Rock back in the day. Who's visiting town.
Okay, nice.
You guys going to Hard Rock?
Yeah, I'm going to go hang out with some of my Hard Rockers back in the day, folks.
Nice. Getting a burger. I can see it already.
I would go with Rock Hards. That's what you should have called yourself.
Well, I'm getting old, so you know.
This podcast is brought to you by Cialis.
Yeah, there you go. Him.
We could definitely get Blue Chew. We could get Blue Chew.
The 33 podcast with William Patrick Corrigan, I kept on wondering, why don't we get to do ad reads? Because I would love to talk about like Blue Chew or something like that.
Yeah.
Or get Manscaped. Dude, I got to trim this head all the time. I'm not as bald as I should be. In fact, I wish that it would just stop growing completely, because then I could be smooth like a baby's bottom and sexy. Low-key burn. I missed what the burn was. That's fine.
I think it was me talking shit about your plate watch. Your watch.
Listen,
plates.
This is literally the if we have, and I make reference to our relationship tomorrow night on the NWA Power intros on that. Oh my God, I just realized the wraparounds. I'm your host for tomorrow night's episode.
You are.
I'm doing announcing. I'm doing Harry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
And you're in the commercials. There's some familiar voice. Unless we drop that new Spanish ad we have. Gary, do you have that Spanish ad?
I did not put it on here because I wasn't sure how well it would play. So I should have just done it, and I didn't.
Liked it.
I liked it too. It's a really good ad, and I should have just gone for it, and I didn't do it.
At least would have appreciated it.
Yeah. I did consider it, but Kyle, since you're doing the wraparounds for it, I guess we should mention that NWA is in Australia tomorrow night on NWA Power. You got matches like Thrillbilly Silas Mason taking on Jake Taylor.
No relation to Alex.
It's funny. It does like to throw the dog a bone, if you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean. Can you?
You'll find out when you see it this Tuesday at 6:05 Eastern.
Okay, fine. Tell us a little bit about this match.
Look at
that.
First Class Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, it's for the NWA World Women's Television Championship, a triple threat match. And these three, well, they just were going at it in all different versions all throughout the tour. And to see Kenzie Page put her title on the line in another country, well, that makes it officially the NWA World Women's Television Championship.
You know, it's funny because she wrestled in so many of the other shows, but we didn't shoot for television, obviously, everywhere. So she just got to wrestle without having to defend the championship. But we recorded these for television, so you gotta defend the television title.
I don't think fans realize how expensive it is to tape wrestling television at any point. I saw somebody just assume that we must have filmed all 10 days.
Yeah.
The logistics of having some random Australian camera guy walking around with a camera truck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not what we do. That's not what we do. And to record stuff at the caliber that we do, here's a peek behind the curtain, as our friends with Law Rebellion are saying. Every time you see something that, you know, the NWA or really any place that has a very similar look on production style, you're looking at probably $250,000. So, like, it's expensive.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But the Australian shows look good so far. What we've seen is this the same location, by the way?
Yes, it's Ballarat.
Ballarat. Okay.
Cryle Castle.
Which is a fun fact about Cryle Castle. Some crazy dude, I'm saying crazy, he might not be, but he decided to build. You can't spite me from the grave unless you believe in ghosts, then I'm screwed. But they can't cross water. Regardless, the dude who built this place was a big medieval fan. And so he built like this entire medieval castle, fighting stage, like stables, a torture pit, all this stuff. This massive undertaking under land over like a decade. And there's some crazy law in Australia where if you have something existing before you pretty much make it public knowledge after, I think, 7 years, they can't hold you to any building restrictions or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So this dude built this in secret. And then one day was just like, hey, look at this. And they're like, oh, you can't have that. He goes, I built it 20 years ago. And they're like, oh, never mind. It's yours.
Weird. That is kind of awesome, though.
It's definitely a bizarre tourist destination for anybody who wants to go to Australia and go. I believe it was like an hour outside Melbourne. But, yeah, it was a drive into some weird cow country, and it's the only thing that's kind of out there.
So I got a cheeseburger. I was waiting in line at the truck while waiting for Alex Taylor and a couple other things that were going on, and I was sitting there just mingling with the locals, and all of them kept on bringing up, why are you guys having a concert in Ballarat, of all places? They were very happy we were there, but everybody was super confused because they're like, you're at Cryle Castle in Ballarat. There's a Smashing Pumpkins concert, and there's professional wrestling. What is this?
Yeah.
Why?
It was pretty wacky. Yeah. Thanks to our local promoter who helped put all that together, because they used to run a lot of raves when that place first opened, and then they had some unfortunate accidents, and it got closed down from the music scene. I think the Pumpkins maybe not be the first band that came back there, but it was kind of this resurgence of it.
Awesome place. Can't recommend enough to anybody whoever gets there. Will we see Natalia Markova here on the show?
You mean on the podcast? Have we had her as a guest yet?
We haven't had her as a guest, and I was going to say I talk to her pretty regularly, and I've asked her a few times. She's always been out of town.
Yeah, she's always out of the country. It's like not even out of town. It's like she's in like Italy or France.
She's always traveling. Yeah, and so she said she would love to do it. She wants to do it, and we're hopefully going to line it up at some point.
We'll get her on.
Yeah. Other matches that are happening. You mentioned Alex Taylor earlier. How about this? Alex Taylor's in action.
Asman. Boom, boom. The American Gigolo taking on the Asman. Ladies and gentlemen, Amon was one of the people that we experienced and is kind of, I want to say discovered, but he already existed in his own right. We discovered him as far as our tastes go, and he is one hell of a high flyer. Alex Taylor is going to have a lot to go up against in this one. Will the Southern Six come into play? You're going to have to tune in to find out.
Ooh, I like that tease. And then we've already mentioned this one, but worth mentioning again. The NWA World Tag Team Championships are on the line. La Rebelión and the Natural Classics.
Tom and Stevie Philippe. Those guys, I mean, they're the real deal. They are legit tag team champion caliber everywhere they go. And they're gonna push La Rebelión to the limit in their home country. It might be match of the night.
Easy on the eyes, aggressive on the mat.
Oh yeah, they're gorgeous.
That is so weird. That is,
what?
I like that.
They're pretty. There's so many beautiful people in Australia. It's crazy.
Australia's full of beautiful people. I don't think I've ever seen an Australian that's not just beautiful.
I was standing next to them, and I remember just looking at them and being like, man, is it great to be you two or something like just what's it like? And I remember they just kind of looked at me like it was a weird question. I might have been drinking, but beside the point.
They're like 6'3", beautiful long hair, jacked. Like, come on.
And they're like super nice guys. And neither of them. Stevie, go ba-da-ba-da. They were completely normal human beings, which means unstoppable. I'm just jealous. They could pull these better than Joe and I are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I had a similar thing with I was talking to Daisy Kill when we were in Winston-Salem, and when everybody else is like always worried about their eating and everything, that guy was like sitting outside. I don't know why I just thought of this, but he was sitting outside and he was drinking a gallon of milk and eating like Pop-Tarts and honey buns. And
guys like us hope, huh, Gary?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, so this is just what you eat and you look like you do? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, are you like a lead singer of a band too or something? He's like, yeah, actually, I do have a band and I'm the lead singer. And I'm like, I'm just jealous of you.
Daisy Kill, of course, offspring of Scott Levy, Raven, and Brian Pillman.
Yeah, all three of them, none of them female, led to the creation of the human being that tags with Talos, who we will see in Chicago, by the way.
Yeah, they will be in Chicago. As a matter of fact,
I want to talk about that. We got some matches to announce, do we not, Gary? It's your show, but
yeah, absolutely. No, I promised on the socials and everywhere else that we would talk about these things. So, of course, July 8th and 9th, we're going to be in Chicago, in Highland Park, more specifically. July 8th, we're going to be HP Cares for Cooper. Proceeds go directly to Cooper Roberts and his family. Cooper Roberts, of course, one of the youngest folks affected by the Highland Park shooting tragedy there in Illinois. So this is just a big charity event for him and his brother, actually, that was also there that day. And so we hope that this just brings some smiles to the faces of people in Highland Park. And hopefully we can raise some money and do something good for that community. And of course, our president and owner, William Patrick Corgan, a member of that community as well. So he thinks a lot of this community and wants to do something for it, and this is his way of doing that. Yeah. If you miss NWA Power, well, it's going to be coming back because we're going to be doing tapings on July the 9th, and that's happening in Highland Park as well. I believe that's at Studio One. Yeah, it says there right on the graphic. I don't know why I said I believe it. It's true. It's happening. NWATix.com. If you're in that area, you need to go to both shows. The HP Cares for Cooper show is just a donation. Just donate some money to the cause, and you can.
It's a free show, Gary. You if you want to donate, it's strongly encouraged. But it's free for anyone in the community. Come on out, bring the family, have a good time. We'll have opportunities for you to make donations at the door, with cash or a credit card, or we'll scan a QR code. And we're also going to have a raffle. There's going to be some stuff that's going to be raffled off. We've got some pretty big sponsors coming online, and we'll have announcements on that in the near future. But I mean, it's a tight-knit community. We had sponsors before, of course, with the Mercedes-Benz dealership that was also in the town. And so this is one of those really, really important shows. And that's why, it's a lot of wrestling fans out there, which I know a lot of our audience on this podcast is very, tuned in to wrestling. And so they think it's like, oh, it's just going to be like a house show. And usually when people say that, it's like, oh, there'll be like 4 or 5 matches with bottom tier guys or whatever. It'll be like whatever. But no, we're having titles defended and stuff. This is big. We're going all out for this charity show because we want people to not only come in and enjoy themselves, but kind of be a part of what could be a historic moment at the rec center in Highland Park. I mean, it's not every day that you're going to be able to do something good for the community and potentially also see some titles change hands and stuff. And let's talk about some of these matches, Gary. Come on, we got it.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. Of course, and Axel asking if it's going to be the road to 75. Of course, the road to 75 starts in Highland Park. Yeah, we're here. So one of the matches happening at HP Cares for Cooper is a triple threat match. Gags the Gimp, Psycho Boy Fodder, and Eric Jackson. All 3 men.
Leopard print Gags is my favorite. Gags. It's great that we booked him. I hope he got out of whatever basement, Judas and the Sinister Minister put him in. Apparently it's happening. Also, the way this graphic looks, it looks like that Fodder does have the NWA tattoo on his neck, right there.
Oh, wow.
That'd be a great
I can see that happening.
I can see him doing it.
Yeah. One of my favorite, a couple of my favorite people from the NWA are going to be in action against each other here. How about Angelina Love versus Ruthie J? Ruthie J, who just took Kinsey Page to the limit, time limit draw, which of course counts for Kinsey Page's defenses for the TV title. But Ruthie J coming out of nowhere, just a newcomer to the NWA, and
now a signed talent with the National Wrestling Alliance as well, a contracted talent with the National.
I did not know that. Good. I love Ruthie J. She's such a sweetheart and just amazing. And she's gonna. I love this matchup just because you're either gonna have the biggest win of your career or you're gonna learn something when you step in there with Angelina Love.
I really enjoyed the way you phrased that, Gary.
This is a cool moment for Ruthie J. So I like this. Angelina Love
commentary.
No. Then how about the Southern Six? It's a thing, like Kyle said, it's happening. Southern Six with Danny Deals of all people are taking on Joe Alonzo and Mario Pardua. I don't know a ton about Mario. I think we've seen him before, but
he was at our last round of Highland Park tapings, and boy, he is just this incredible athlete. I mean, just tall, strong, smart in the ring.
Polish rock.
Yeah, really. And there's a huge Polish community in that part of Chicago, or the Chicago area, the North Shore area, I should say. And he brings this huge amount of people as fans and support. It's crazy.
That's awesome. I'd love to see that. And now all of those would be enough, but let's talk about some heavy hitters here because Trevor Murdoch and Mike Knox are going to be in action against Daisy Kill and the Giant Talos. That's a big one.
That's a first tag match since the Crockett Cup, since winning the Crockett Cup. Could you imagine if Daisy Kill and Talos beat the winners of the Crockett Cup in the first outing after winning? That's crazy.
One of the things you're missing on this is how important this match is in the overall grand scheme of things, because it was Mike Knox coming to the aid of Trevor Murdoch as Daisy Kill and Talos were attacking him.
That's true.
This is actually
a great point.
Full circle, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Paying attention.
That is why Kyle gets paid the big bucks. That's why.
Let's not talk.
And Joe did promise titles defended on this. So let's run through some of the titles you're going to see defended on this show. How about this one? United States Tag Team titles on the line. The Country Gentlemen versus the Savages with Chris Silvio, of course.
Hey, two of these guys are Southern. They could be in the Southern Six. I don't know what to believe anymore, Joe Galley.
Well, are the Savages? Not Jax Dane being from the Tennessee area. I think one could argue that would be Southern as well. Blake Truth and Chris Silvio both being from Florida. That's also in the South. So this could be a whole thing.
Note to self: play up the Southern Six as the NWO debuting, and who is the fifth?
They're going to start spray painting people.
Who's the fifth member of the Southern Six?
Would look like a 9 because they're ignorant.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, Gary, you'd remember this during the Crockett Cup. I believe the Country Gentlemen had to defend those championships in that gauntlet that came down between them. And
there was a gauntlet, yeah.
So they had to defend those championships. Now going up against the Savages again. I mean, they might have their number. We've talked about it all the time with Jack Dane. He's won every other championship except for that one and the women's championships he doesn't qualify for. And the junior heavyweight.
Yeah. Jack Stade is far from a junior heavyweight. So, Jack Stade could stand to have the United States Tag Team Championship just to be possibly one of the, right alongside Trevor Murdoch as the most decorated man.
Couple crown winner. You know what I mean?
And then the women's tag team titles are going to be on the line. Talk about somebody who's trying to just get every title. I mean, Kinsey's already obviously had the women's tag team championship.
She wants to be 2-belt.
And she wants to be
TBK, 2-belt Kenzie.
I love that. M95 are defending against Kinsey and Kylie. Can the sisters take the women's world tag team championship?
It'd be exciting to see. And then Kenzie, of course, also an alleged member of the Southern Six as well. At least that's what I hear from Thrillbilly all the time.
He says that
the leader, but every time I've seen him even approach her, she just walks away in disgust.
I think maybe she's the secret leader. I don't know.
I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but I definitely saw them have a conversation in Winston-Salem where Thrillbilly was like, "What's the deal with the Southern Six? Are you doing this or not?" And she was like, I already have a thing. And he was like, "Well, you ain't the only Page sister." So, anyway. So that happened. And then the national title is on the line. The National Heavyweight Championship. Jordan Clearwater, former TV champion, is taking on EC3 to try to take a step up here and win that NWA National Heavyweight Championship.
That's going to be a great match. Jordan Clearwater is such an exceptional athlete. EC3, the overman. I mean, is he in his final form? I do not know. But, I mean, Jordan's going to have his hands full, but he's a former champion in his own right. There's no reason why he wouldn't be able to beat EC3 there at HB Cares for Cooper.
I like this matchup.
Will the golden showers rain upon EC3? We're going to have to find out.
Well, that is the question, I guess. I hope you do that for an ad. And then finally,
a whole crowd there.
Yeah.
Are you podcasting and driving at the same time, Kyle?
I'm not driving.
He's Ubering.
Yeah,
oh, okay. Oh, good.
Who is that?
Jeff?
Tell me.
He's my buddy.
It's Jeff?
He's my friend.
Oh,
He's
okay.
my compadre.
Name Jeff.
Brother from a different mother. He's 2 days older than I am. And he's a lot more down to earth and actually should probably be involved in everything that I am instead.
He's 2 days older than you. Why do you look a decade younger?
Is Jeff the guy you met on Bumble?
Yes.
It was Hinge.
It's Pride Month.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, just saying, if we need to break some news, Kyle Davis, this is the place to do it.
I could be so lucky.
All right, and then one more match. I think this is a huge one because I want to see this match again because it is arguably one of the best matches, if not the best match of Crockett Cup. How about Camille will once again defend the women's
Third
world
time could be the
championship.
charm for Markova. I'm just saying.
Markova is going for it. I mean, can Camille do it one more time against Natalia Markova? I don't know. So
Third time could be the charm.
HB Cares for Cooper. This is a big matchup. I'm excited about this one. So that show is loaded. So you can get to that show for free. You can totally watch that show.
This ain't no pay-per-view or nothing. You got to be at the show. Like,
Yeah,
you got to be there. Like, that is the thing. It's like, if you want to see these matches, you got to go there and you got to be a part of it. You got to be there in the moment. You got to be at that rec center in Highland Park. Get your car, get the plane ticket, get on a train, do whatever you got to do, but you actually have to be there for that show.
That's exciting. I'm excited to see that show. This is going to be awesome. Lots of cool matchups there. And then that's not to mention the fact that Highland Park, the next night, NWA Power Tapings, NWATix.com. You want to be a part of that. I know a lot of you guys in the chat are already a part of that. You've already mentioned you bought tickets. You show up to these things regularly. We're grateful for every single one of you for being there. Polka Dot Pam got her plane ticket. Mike Durbin already bought tickets.
Not hard. Southwest flight, baby.
I got a plane ticket.
Yeah. And so this is going to be exciting. Tell your friends. Tell anybody you know. If you know people in the Chicago area, tell them, especially on July 8th, this is completely for a good cause. Like, you got to show up for that. It's a huge card and an awesome reason to be there. So go there, donate, be a part of that. It's going to be an awesome event.
In the words of Thrill Billy, the only excuse you have not to be there is if you're in jail. And if you're in jail, break your ass on out and be a part of this excitement.
I like that. And as we are wrapping this show up, because Kyle's got a date with Jeff, and we've got to all have our families we've got to see. So I can't let you get out of here, of course.
It gets worse than that, Harry. We also have a date with our other friend, Mike. And then
I love it.
With a bunch of people he used to work with. It's going to be one orgy of hard rock.
I
So
love
hard.
that you put it that
So
way. It's great.
Can we get a moment of sound?
We can get a moment of sound, as a matter of fact.
Tá bom, nós vamos fazer. Tentar uma mais vez, tá bom? Vamos ver. 1, 2. Eu vou tentar de novo. Só fica aí, tá bom? Não se mexe, fica aí. Tá bom. 1, 2. Sim! Eu sei as palavras. Eu vou fazer as palavras. 1, 2, tcharam!
Why do I always find you like this? What are you doing?
Eu tô tentando para fazer
We have a match in
mágica.
10 minutes.
Eu sei,
We have a
mas
match
eu
in
posso
10 minutes.
fazer. Gente, eu
This
sei
did
que eu
not
posso
work
fazer.
last-
Eu
give me
posso
this.
fazer.
Give
Eu
me it.
posso.
No.
Eu posso.
I don't care.
Eu
I don't know what a bat is.
Eu posso.
Give me that.
Tcharam! Jake!
Are we getting applause from Joe Galley for that moment of silence?
Best moment of I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. Holy jeez. Now we know that Gags is okay.
Yeah, there he was.
Going into Chicago, we know he's not dead in a basement somewhere.
CJ saved.
All
Gags.
I know is you don't want to know what Jim smells like after being locked in a basement.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. Where can we get a moment of Kyle? Or he starts. We'll start working on a moment of Kyle. Maybe that's a new segment.
A moment of Kyle's just going to be me going on an expletive-ridden tirade about something for no reason. That's a moment of Kyle.
I get plenty of moments of Kyle throughohout the day.
Oh yes,
yeah,
you
that's
do.
Definitely like an after hours.
No, it's during 9 to 5.
Well, I mean, for YouTube,
I got a bowl of cereal in my hand and energy drink in the other, and I'm just dropping F-bombs to Joe Galley, and he's giving me some real funny commentary about current events as well.
Mm-hmm.
We should have a morning show.
No, shut up. It'll happen, and then we'll have to do it.
I started thinking at one point, I was like, these guys, they keep showing up for this thing, and I was like, I think it has to be cathartic. It's at least a time where they could go and just get it all out on somewhere together. Like just not everything, but you just get to have some fun with it at least. Right? Because these two guys, you guys, if you're in the chat right now, these two guys bust their tails. They work hard and are underappreciated. It's the unsung stuff for the National Wrestling Alliance. And
great, Gary. Now everybody's going to blame me for anything that goes wrong with NWA 75 ticketing. Come on, man.
What? That would always happen. That was going to happen anyways, Kyle. Come on.
He's the reason Ric Flair said he'd never be back. No, I'm just kidding. Ric Flair didn't say that.
By the way, Joe Galley there, is that the NWA Cup? Guys,
don't tell him.
Don't wash that in high heat in your dishwasher.
Don't put it in the dishwasher. It'll break. Let's just leave it at that.
It'll look like the world's smallest flashlight.
If you want to buy one, use that discount. Promo code Champ Deals for 20% off at nationalwrestlingalliance.com/shop.
And very upsetting
because
your dishwasher at Cup. And I was like, you know what? I should probably just I left something in it overnight. I'm like, let me put that in the dishwasher on high heat to kill anything that's in it. Yeah, I love that cup. I miss it.
NWA this morning. I like that idea.
No. I've done morning news enough. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. You have to understand, you have to be at the building at like 2:30 or 3 in the morning to get that off every day. And you wonder why they say dumb stuff at like 8:45. It's because they've been up, but they were up before because they try to have a normal life and have dinner with their family. But then they only got 3 hours of sleep. And then they're sitting there at the morning desk and you make fun of them for mispronouncing Azerbaijan or some shit. And it's freaking unbelievable.
Wow, I wish I was.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're getting a taste of the real Joe Galley. I'm happy you got to experience it. There's more to come. Give it about 12 hours and 3 weeks of travel together, and let me tell you,
we're running a show in Azerbaijan too.
If we get more of an after hours idea going, and we really try to do this, I'm gonna get to play the clip of Joe Galley and your mother.
Yeah,
that one.
It's ancient. Everyone's seen that already.
I don't know. I love it.
Oh my God! Or you could find the wrestling history of him that I'm not going to say anything else about, but just let people speculate.
Is it time for gravy cake?
Yeah, it's time. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate all of you. And chat, thank you so much for being a part of this, wherever you're watching it from. We appreciate you. And until next week, please, for God's sake,
sunset.